Have you guys ever watched the movie The Talented Mr. Ripley? A movie about a man taking over somebody else's life. And this movie could be based on the real-life syndrome called the Ripley's syndrome. Recently, a Korean-Australian man who is known to be the most respected professor and a Taekwondo master was arrested for an unthinkable murder. Come to find out, his entire life was a lie, making up family members, his entire credentials, and in the end, trying to take over somebody else's life. It's still an ongoing case, and it's really scary to think that these type of people, who may seem so normal and respectable, are living among us. Could you imagine a friend that's among you that literally made up their entire lives and you had no idea? By the way, apparently there is some kind of crazy stuff that is going on astrologically. Apparently, there's one of the biggest eclipses of this year, 2024, coming up on April 8th. But my co-host, who is a psychological astrologist, on our newest podcast, The Green Tea, we will be talking all about that. Go and check out our newest episode that is out right now, all about astrology. I will have the cards and the link down in the description box. You will fall in love with our new podcast because me, being an entertainer, mixed with a psychological astrologist, we have new episodes coming out every 2 weeks. So go and follow The Green Tea podcast. Talking about some crazy astrology going up in the stars, I have been feeling so drained, you guys, in the last couple weeks, in the couple days. Maybe it has to do with astrology. And my patience have been really low. So I've been just kind of zoning out and playing some games on my phone. It was no ads, guys. No ad game I found for you guys called Fiona's Farm. And thank you so much to Fiona's Farm for supporting and sponsoring true crime channels like GRAZY TV. I love me some mystery, and Fiona's Farm is all about playing puzzle games, solving some mysteries. Fiona recently separated from her fiance. She returns to her hometown, discovers a hidden lab. Along the way, you need to decorate the farm, clean it up, blast some puzzles to unlock the energy, and you get to uncover some family mysteries in the farm. When I'm feeling drained, which has been every morning and every night, I just go and zone out to Fiona's Farm. Not only are you just relaxing, but stimulating your brain with fun puzzle games. So if you've been feeling the stars doing some weird things up there and you need some relaxations, I will have the QR code up here and you guys can download for free and play for free with no ads. Let me know what you guys think of the game and let's get back to the story. How many of you guys live in Australia? Because this story has been blowing up there because this is a psychopath that was in plain sight. This is Mr. Lion Yoo. He is 49 years old and he was described as very likable, especially with kids, especially the Korean community. And he was somebody that was passionate about Taekwondo since he was young, and he was a Taekwondo master. He had his own Taekwondo academy, and this is what it looked like. And until recently, there has been kids and adults who've been taking classes from him. Those who knew Mr. Lion says that they've never seen him angry. He was actually kind of like an extrovert and was really good to other people. And especially if you're Korean or Korean American, you know how well you're respected based on your manners. And he was a professor. He studied at the University of Sydney. I'm not sure exactly what kind of professor that he claimed he was, but this is also apparently his car. He rode in Lamborghini. He owned his own land of where the academy was, so this was entirely his building, and he also had a house that he owned. He also claimed that he was married to a lawyer wife and they did have 2 kids together. Just by looking at it, he had it all. A successful marriage. He has his own house, a land, a Taekwondo master, a professor, smart, kind. I mean, there's nothing to lose. Now, back only in February of 2024, the Sydney police got a report of a missing person. And they were specifically looking for a Korean American family of 3, and we're gonna call them the Kim's family. This Korean family immigrated to Sydney, Australia, and they had a 7-year-old child. Police ended up going to Kim's house just to find out that actually this was a brutal murder scene. The father, Mr. Kim, who was missing that day, was found deceased with many stab wounds. Now, they had to find the mother, Miss Kim, and a 7-year-old son, which they could not find, and they were not inside of the house. So the police decided to act quick, and they were able to track down the phone of Miss Kim, and it seemed like she was at this location, which turned out to be the Taekwondo Academy. They quickly went to this academy, which it was closed and nobody was in there, and finally got to the storage room in the back where they would find Miss Kim and her 7-year-old son deceased. Police say that they were passed deceased by strangulation. Very different from Mr. Kim and how he passed away, but it was crazy how this family of three people were deceased. So what the heck happened? And it did not take the police that long to find out. Now, the day before, on February 19th, 11:50 p.m. at night, Mr. Lion, the Taekwondo master, would walk into the hospital claiming that he had knife wounds and that he was in a knife attack at a supermarket by a random person. He ended up getting an emergency surgery and he was interviewed by the police to see what happened. And they actually did not really believe his story, because the police went to the supermarket that he claimed he was attacked in, interviewed, looked at the CCTV footages, and there was no sign that Lion was even at the supermarket or was there any attack. A really odd thing is that when Lion went to the hospital, he actually showed up in a car that was not his. He drove a white BMW car which belonged to somebody else. Now, this car is Mr. Lion's car, or his original car. So whose car is this white BMW? Now, obviously, we can connect the two dots. Where the victims were found, the TaeKwonDo Academy was owned by Lion, the man who walked into the hospital himself. And this is the best timeline that the police can determine at the moment. So they believe that the mother and the child were actually unalived between classes. This is the schedule of Lion's Taekwondo classes. He's the only one who works here as a master. And at 6 p.m., this is when they had the adult classes, adult Taekwondo. And they found out that Miss Kim was taking the adult classes here, and she brought her son for whatever reason, and he was to wait until she went through the classes. So it is believed that when Miss Kim and the child arrived at the academy at 6 p.m., Lion took the mother to the back storage for whatever reason, and whatever he wanted to talk about with her, and lured her in there, strangled her. And there was only a 10-minute break window. So before the adult classes, before 6 p.m. was the kids' classes. Maybe that is what the 7-year-old child took. And then he was to wait till his mother finished the adult classes. So within 10 minutes, he unalived the mother by strangulation in the back of the room. Then, sickly, he went on to teach the adult class. And after that was finished, the 7-year-old child is obviously like, "Where's my mother?" That is when he lured the 7-year-old victim into the back. We don't know exactly where this took place, but maybe the 7-year-old child did see the mother on the floor. After that, he apparently took the car of the victim, Miss Kim's car, which ended up being the white BMW, and drove to Mr. Kim's house. And he knew where they lived, because when you sign up for these classes, you have to enter your personal information, like where you live, your phone number, and things like that. So he drove to Mr. Kim's house, and that's how he entered the house, through the garage. And for whatever unknown reason, till this day, he ended up ending the life of Mr. Kim. And strangely enough, police also claim that after the attack, he went to their bathroom inside of the house, took a full shower, wore the clothes of Mr. Kim, like changed into his clothing, took the car, like not his car, their white BMW, and somewhere along the way went back to his academy, Taekwondo Academy, where police believe that he actually even injured himself more on purpose to make it look like there was a severe fight in the supermarket. The lies. Then apparently he went back to his own house, where police believe that his wife saw his injuries. By the way, he has 2 kids of his own, so it's like, what did they see? And apparently the wife might have been shocked and told him to go to the hospital. As of right now, does the wife know anything? What happened? Was she involved or not? That is unknown. But again, that is when Yoo admitted himself to the hospital, 11:50 p.m., got an emergency surgery. And apparently the next day, all of the people that was taking the classes under the Taekwondo Academy got a text message from the academy. We don't know who sent it, but it could be the wife, because she also was like the manager for the academy, claiming the Lion, the instructor, the master, got into a car accident and he was unable to fulfill the classes that day. So could it be that he lied to his wife that he got into an accident? But why didn't the wife come to the hospital with him? After the police was able to connect the dots and that Lion Yoo, the Taekwondo master, was the murderer, tips started flooding in information about who really this Mr. Lion, the Taekwondo master professor, was. And you will be shocked into how delusional this man was into literally building up a fantasy life. Like everything about his life was literally a fantasy. Friends, acquaintances, family friends claim that, as they got to know Lion, he was like an onion, like peeling lie after lie after lie. First of all, every single certificate that you see in his academy turned out to be fake, like falsified documentation. Now, he claimed that he graduated from the University of Sydney. Come to find out, nobody under the name of Lion Yoo or his Korean name ever graduated from that university. So that was a lie. He was never a professor, never got a degree, and he only graduated high school. Now, there was also a certificate here that made it seem like he went to the school and was awarded for something, a program from the university. But doing some digging, the signature here was forged. The main principal of this university never signed or gave him this award. There's even a photo of him in a suit. We don't even know where this is, but apparently there's nothing that made him a professor or any master at all. So it's like, well, what is he doing here and why he took this photo? There was a man who came forward claiming that he was a coworker of Lion 10 years ago when he was working together at a K barbecue spot in Australia. And he claims that Lion showed behaviors of a classic narcissist and a pathological liar. Ever since back then, 10 years ago, he would exaggerate his credentials, claiming that, again, he was going to the University of Sydney, he was going to be in the Olympics soon, and that he needed some money for school, so he was using up all his savings. So he would borrow $20, $50, a little bit here and there from his coworkers, which he never paid back. Now, this coworker, who didn't really know much about Lion yet, did decide to take Taekwondo classes from him. Now, one day, the coworker claims that he was walking in the street and saw Mr. Lion, and he said, hey, it's me. And apparently Lion totally ignored him, yet he was with another woman that did not look like his wife. And he straight up looked at the coworker and said, excuse me, I'm not Lion, and walked away. Now, obviously the coworker, when it was his time to go into the academy, went up to Lion and said, hey, what happened the other day? Was that you? And Lion would be like, oh, I forgot to tell you, I have a twin brother. And went on and on to this coworker explaining about his family life, of how he came from a really wealthy family, but there's some disputes in the family, so he doesn't talk to his twin brother anymore. Another acquaintance that used to know Lion back then claims that, he actually thought that he met Lion's brother. He claims that he met Paul, the twin brother, and the twin brother would talk about Lion, saying that, oh, my brother, he came to Sydney, he's riding a Lamborghini, he's married to a lawyer wife, yeah, he's doing so well, and basically that they lived this extravagant life in Australia. And this acquaintance remembers other people coming up to Paul and going, hey, Lion. And Paul would be like, oh, no, that's my brother, Lion. Yeah, we're twins. Now, later on, this acquaintance apparently went to a supermarket nearby and saw Paul. Paul made it seem like he also was living an extravagant life, but turns out he was working at a supermarket. And when this acquaintance confronted him, he was like, I'm sorry for lying. Oh well. So, does Lion have a real twin brother or not? Or is Paul and Lion the same person? So the K documentary crew went to Lion's house, and in the garbage can, because right now Mr. Lion is arrested, and in the garbage can there's piles of papers that somebody threw away. And it seems like these papers are resume papers, and in one of the lines it claims that he is a level 4 or 4th clan Taekwondo instructor, and that he was in the Olympics in the 2000. Another man who claims that he used to know this family really well claims that Lion Yoo is a devil. And the reason why he even uses the name Lion and Paul was because of a deceased Olympic athlete. And this is a real Olympic champion that went to the 2000 Olympics for his Taekwondo, and his name is ironically Paul Lyons. If you put 2 and 2 together, Korean Lion, Mr. Yoo, Could it be that he was trying to steal the identity of this deceased athlete? Lion Yoo also went around claiming that his parents were lawyers. Come to find out, they're not lawyers. But what is true is just one thing about him, is that he did learn Taekwondo since he was young. Now, family members say that Lion Yoo, ever since he was young from high school, him and his brother was taking Taekwondo classes. And apparently his older brother, who was like a Taekwondo athlete, was really good at it, and he was always being compared by his parents, him versus his brother. Family friends who remember him says that he was really an introvert, and ever since high school, that is when he started to tell all these lies. Could it be that not being able to be the golden child like his brother drove him to exaggerate and lie and make up fantasies in order to be accepted by society? And we can confidently confirm that Paul, his twin, doesn't exist, that Paul and Lion are the same person, that he literally legitimately made up a twin brother. Anytime that inconvenience came, anytime that he wanted to run away from reality, he blamed it on his twin brother that was non-existent. So the biggest question is, why did Lion Yoo murder this family? What did this innocent family have to do with all of this? Police at the moment cannot find any other relations other than the fact that this family was taking classes from him. There are two possible scenarios, and the number one is money motivated. So remember, Lion Yoo claimed that his family owned the academy and the land. Come to find out, the actual landlord of the building was about to end the contract and kick them out. So where was he gonna go with this academy? Nobody knows. Could it be the fact that he was unable to pay for the rent anymore? And the house that he claimed that he owned? Nope. That was rent. That was not his house. Could it be that maybe he borrowed money from Mr. Kim? There's no evidence of that yet. I will update you guys, but maybe he didn't want to pay something back. Or the second likely scenario, Mr. Kim and Miss Kim found out all the lies about Lion Yoo. And maybe the family confronted Mr. Lion saying that, hey, you're lying about A, B, C, and D. We found out that all your credentials were fake. You know, we're gonna tell the whole entire town and community. And maybe Mr. Lion not wanting to face reality and the fact that his entire life was a fantasy. Anyone that finds out about my lies, you're gone. Or another likely scenario that could be tied to everything was he jealous? Did he need another person to take over the identity, kind of like the Mr. Ripley's movie? He knew that maybe Mr. Kim had the life that he potentially wanted and needed to take over his identity, like kind of what he did with the deceased Olympian and the fake twin. And professionals as of this moment that reviewed Mr. Lion's behaviors do believe that he does have Ripley syndrome. I mean, that could be one of the reasons why Mr. Lion, after the ending of this family, he went up to change into Mr. Kim's clothes, used his car to go to the hospital. Like, obviously police are eventually going to find out that this car doesn't belong to you, so the fact that he could have been pretending to be somebody else. Professionals say that Lion Yoo, when it comes to problems in life, he doesn't try to solve it with realistic ways, but with lies and blowing up this entire fake bubble. Lion Yoo is not speaking at all. He is pleading the fifth. Could it be that Lion Yoo wanted this perfect life that he could not have, that drove him to end this perfect innocent family? As of this moment, the motive is not clear yet. The police are still investigating. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think happened with all the information that we have currently? If there are any updates, I will let you guys know. So subscribe to GRAZY TV for any of these updates in these cases. Remember to check out Fiona's Farms if you guys need any relaxation, a game free to download and play with no ads. Love the graphics. Thank you so much for supporting GRAZY TV, and see you guys in my next case.